Welcome to the Running Channel podcast, coming to you today from Garmin's flagship store in Southampton.
This is so exciting. Also, I'm not sure about you two, but I've noticed a change in the weather recently, which can only mean one thing.
Hot chocolate.
No.
For you, maybe,
no,
yeah.
For you, yeah, maybe. But for us, autumn marathon season.
Yeah, actually no.
No, but it is for me. So we're going to talk about, that's today's episode topic. We're going to be talking all about autumn marathons, what to expect, how to get stuck into your training, some top tips, and of course, news and all of the other good stuff that we cover, your questions. But it's really exciting to be back in Garmin's store because actually we've got a special episode or segment of Rick's challenge this week. And Rick's challenge was inspired by his general incompetence at using a Garmin watch in the first place.
I think I've learned more today about watches. Firstly, that it does more than just tell me how fast I ran at parkrun and knock my wife out in bed.
We need to come back to that in a minute.
That it actually does lots of other things.
Honestly, I think half of today we've just spent talking to
going,
people after. I've spent
What?
a
It
lot
does
today.
what?
Yeah.
And I've had this on my wrist for 2 years.
Yeah. I've just followed you around today speaking to people who you've had a conversation with. Firstly saying sorry, and then secondly saying, what did he learn from you? Oh good, yeah,
Poor
fine.
guys in the store.
Have you guys forgotten that we need to do the music?
Oh, sorry,
yeah,
music.
play the music.
Can you name anyone famous from Southampton?
Can I?
Yeah.
I don't know. Was Matt Letizia from Southampton?
He was.
Yes.
Craig David?
Is he from
Was
Southampton?
he?
Craig David, yeah. Chris Packham?
The naturist?
Chris
Naturalist? Which one of those?
Naturalist?
Which one of those is...
Careful, careful.
Which one of those is right?
Second one.
One of those two.
Benny Hill?
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Is
did
it
you
Scott
actually
Mills?
do some research for
What do you mean?
today's
Did I do-
podcast?
yeah.
This is a bit keen.
So you've done genuinely this amount of research on famous people from Southampton.
Yeah. What's the topic today again?
No, I'm not. But there's something else I'm not going to let you get away with today. We are 2.5 years into the podcast.
Yeah.
You are however many years into the running channel.
5.
We have talked about
7.
We've talked about VO2 max ad nauseum, probably to the point where no one wants to hear about it. Really,
VO2 max. You mean maximum oxygen intake? The thing that tells you the things.
Have you written it down?
Right,
Have you
we
written it down?
don't need
The
to
best-
chat GPT answers.
No, hang on. ChatGPT what? You mean the thing that's the best indicator of your cardiovascular fitness and
Yeah,
where
all right.
your aerobic state is?
Yeah. Okay. So you've looked it up today.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually debate or doubt your ability to define what it was.
Yeah.
But I'd always assumed that you knew what the number meant. And then today we found out that you didn't know whether higher or lower was better.
Well, I recently went down to 47 and I thought, whoopee. Oh, that's a ace. Winner. And then I went for a run with Andy today and it went up to 48 and I thought, well, I'm not running with him again.
Well, I've done you a favour.
Yeah.
So higher is better.
Yeah, higher is better. Yeah. Well, every day's a learning day.
Yeah, today
Well,
has
for
been
you.
for you. But before we get to that though, Sarah, you've just come back from an incredible trip because I know Rick and I was banging on about our running, but I want to hear about you, how you got on at UTMB, a whole week spent in Chamonix, some of it in the sunshine.
Yeah, some of it in the absolute pouring rain. It was incredible. Yeah, I went to the mountains to watch UTMB Mont Blanc. Although this is the thing that I will never understand. I think because they've expanded so much. UTMB stands for
Ultra Trail de Mont Blanc.
Thank you. I was going to say Ultra Tour de Mont Blanc. Yeah, so it's Ultra.
UTMB Mont Blanc, Mont Blanc.
Yeah, correct.
Mont Blanc.
Because there are so many different UTMBs. So we were at the kind of the original UTMB week in Chamonix. There's so many different events. It was so cool. I went with Meg from the Running Channel as well, and we ended up on the follow program at the weekend for the 100 miler. Yeah. So we got put in a van at 3:00 in the afternoon, and we got out of the van at about 5:00 the following day with little stops. We went to 3 different countries.
Are you and Meg still friends?
She was in a different van, so yeah.
Maybe that's how, so we're going out to Tokyo for the World Championships next week. Maybe that's how we should
in
travel.
Different vans,
Yes,
I think that would help. Although, so I got put in a van with like lots of different media, and I was like, okay, right, make friends with everyone. I was with Stephen from Film My Run, if you've ever met him.
Yes, I have, yeah.
Sat next to him. If you go onto his YouTube channel, you'll be able to see video evidence of me snoring at 3 a.m.
Lovely.
Which I thought was harsh because I woke up at a checkpoint and we talked for ages, and then we got in the van van again after checkpoint, like wet and cold. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep again. He was like, oh, right, you snored last time. And I was like, oh, sorry, everyone.
So he filmed you doing it?
I'm not sure if it was mid-snore, but it was definitely whilst I was asleep. So yeah.
I thought you were on a jolly. I didn't realise you had to camp.
But no, we weren't camping.
van.
Sleep was optional.
Oh, right.
It was, it wasn't. So the race.
So you slept in a van?
I slept in a van, yeah. It's honestly his worst nightmare, isn't it?
I asked Rick earlier today in a different context as to whether he would ever camp.
Oh, I don't camp.
that was the answer.
What's the thing with camping?
I like a solid wall.
What do you mean?
I
as
don't
opposed to a tent.
I don't want to fall into canvas. I don't want to bang on canvas. I want a wall.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I learned something else about you today, which was before, I can't remember if it was before or after this camping revelation, which I had no surprise that camping was not for you. But your driving surprised me today.
What? Because you said to me this morning, I've never seen you drive, but you have a while back.
So there's two things. Two things to this. Is one is that I sort of can't imagine you driving.
I don't even get that.
Yeah, I just can't picture you behind the wheel. I can picture you being chauffeured, and I can picture you in the back of a taxi or a limousine or something. I cannot picture you at the wheel operating effectively heavy machinery.
What does it make you worry?
I literally can't even visualize it.
I think you would think that was too much.
And then today you asked me to follow you because there's no phone signal in this part of Britain.
So we were driving to go for a run, and we'd come up or down to Southampton separately. So we hopped in our respective cars, and I was like, "Follow me." Headed out onto very, very quiet roads with no traffic.
Yeah,
50-mile-an-hour roads.
It's not like North London.
50-mile-an-hour roads.
No.
Behind me, Rick's doing 30. It was 2 miles from where we were to where we needed to start running. I had to stop and pull over in a lay-by 3 times to allow him to catch up.
I'm just not used to people driving that fast. My average speed driving around North London is about 3 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So when you're going, I'm just like, and there are speed cameras in Hampshire literally everywhere. You basically have to say cheese as you're driving through them. You cannot get away from them.
Well, you think...
So I was just taking it easy.
Should we go?
I wasn't trusting the speed limit. I want to explain this because I feel like he's annoyed at me.
Oh look, he's really getting annoyed at this.
I don't think I'm annoyed at you. There's only one person here is annoyed right now.
I was worried that everywhere was 30. So even if I saw it was 50, I didn't believe it. So I thought I'm sticking at 30. It was beautiful and it was lovely to go for a run with you.
Yeah, we did go for a run.
Speaking of a run, should we get on to that?
Yes.
Right, so your challenge this week was to not only learn how to use a watch, which we know you struggle with this, but to learn how to use the brand new Garmin Fenix 8 Pro, which you literally have on your wrist right now.
Yeah.
So there are a few different models that have been released. You've got one model, Andy's got the smaller...
Oh, actually, I'm wearing a different watch right now.
Andy, come on, you had one job.
I did have one job. I did have one job.
All right, well, in the green room,
it was Rick's challenge, not Andy's challenge.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Andy's challenge failed.
Yeah, I failed. But I've also got a few impromptu questions for Rick.
Oh, yeah. Should we do a quiz?
So Rick and I went out for a run to test the watch today, which he managed to do. He managed to press start and stop and save his activity. So which
is actually quite good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done well. Yeah. We also, prior to that though, we'd had a one-to-one session. Well, I say one-to-one, one to several.
Yeah.
With it
was essentially one to Rick, wasn't it?
Yes, that's what we mean. Rick had a tutoring session with a Garmin product expert to help him to understand things like the fact that VO2 max going up is a positive thing.
Help him understand things. It was just after his driving lesson.
We were back in a classroom and we were learning about the tech.
We were learning together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I've got some questions for you.
Go on.
Okay. So what world's first tech is in one model of the Fenix 8 Pro?
Very special lighting.
Very special lighting? No, try
Care
again.
to expand on that?
Ultra LEDs?
It's to do with LEDs. It's not called ultra
Magic LEDs.
Yeah, close.
Aluminum?
You've said so many.
LEDs?
They're very small.
Micro LEDs.
Very good.
Yeah.
Is that right? So the world's first micro LED screen in a watch, which is really exciting.
Aren't there 4,000? No, 400,000.
There we go.
Yes.
Hey, look, he was paying attention. 400,000 tiny little LEDs in the screen.
Look how happy he is with his answer.
So this is like, it's a different form of challenge, Rick, this time. So it's usually the challenge is for him to actually turn the technology on.
Do something.
This time it's answering questions about the technology. So I've got another one, which is, I think I'd be interested in this one. How do you measure screen brightness? So one of the things of the micro LED screen is incredibly bright. So how do you measure screen brightness? What's the units?
Oh.
Does it begin with L?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that would have been my answer
hang on.
as well.
I think that's how you measure the brightness in torches. Is
Lumens.
Lumens.
No.
Oh, is it wattage?
Yeah. No. Think children at school.
Clue. Give me a clue.
Begins with N.
Clue.
Children at school. You might have to wash their hair in a certain way.
Nits.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, so you weren't paying attention at all?
I had to deal with nits the other day. Probably shouldn't have said that. Yeah.
You can move closer to me. It's all right.
They're gone now. Not with mine. Not with me. Not with me.
I definitely haven't gone in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nits. Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
nits.
Yeah.
And I want to say up to 5,000 nits, which is a
Okay.
lot. It's a lot of
All right.
nits.
That would be an absolute nightmare amount of nits if it's the other type of nits.
That would be unbearable. I've had to deal with that. Where's Garmin's global headquarters? We went to their UK headquarters in the UK today in Southampton.
In the United States of America.
Yeah, I went there a few months ago.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the podcast.
It's in. You went there.
This isn't really fair because this wasn't part of the tuition today. But
Is it in Utah?
nope.
Is it in?
There we could be here for a while.
Welcome to Let's Name the 50 States of America.
Another clue.
Begins with a K.
Kentucky.
No.
Another one.
We're sat in front of a live audience of Garmin employees who are
Everyone is
screaming at
literally
us.
just screaming at us. Kansas.
Yeah.
Kansas. Oh, yes, you're on a state line, aren't you? Because Kansas City is in a different state to Kansas itself. Look at that.
Yes, good knowledge.
Yeah, well done.
Good knowledge.
Don't know where that came from.
We're going well so far. I think that's 1 out of 3. Tell me 3 different ways that you can make a phone call on the watch.
You can speak to it.
I mean more like the connectivity that it uses. But yes, you can speak. You can speak to it. That's my fault for the questioning.
All right. Your phone. It can connect to your phone.
Yeah.
It can connect to a satellite.
Yeah.
And it can also connect one other way.
Yes. It can connect to effectively its own phone network.
It can,
through
yes,
Garmin,
there we
which is
go.
LTE.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is so cool because we did a challenge a few years ago now where we used the Garmin InReach minis, which was basically they were for safety, but we just spent the whole challenge testing each other.
Well, the point
it was
of those
such
is
a novelty. It was like having a.
And you can use those all over the world to stay in touch, regardless of any sort of level of cell phone service or whatever, because they're satellite based, and it's that technology and that network that the new Phoenix 8 Pro uses to allow you to send messages.
I mean, you and I are quite similar in this, in the fact that when we go out running, we don't like taking a phone.
Yes.
Because,
certainly if I was racing, I don't want to
exactly. You don't really carry something else. And I thought that was quite cool that you can message from your phone from your watch without taking your phone out.
And I've got a last question. How could this help? I don't know whether it's helpful actually, given that we know you, but Chantal, your wife, how could it help her?
If I get lost in a jungle, I can
I think she would leave you
in a jungle.
100%.
She'd probably be like,
100%. No, but you can do Garmin Live Track's a feature where you can where you're watching. If you were carrying your phone in previous models, then you could go out for a run and someone could literally follow you. So you share it with someone that you trust. They might be able to see exactly where you were from a safety perspective. But because you don't need to take your phone with the Phoenix 8 Pro, you can do the same thing.
By live tracking.
Do you want to know a funny story?
But you can see all their stats. You can see
like
their heart rate. You can see all their health stats. This is really interesting, actually, more for amateur runners, I would say, in some ways, isn't it? Because Kipchoge's not going to give away what his heart rate is after 18 kilometers, but it's so.
I might though,
but you might.
Yeah, Andy might. Do you want to know?
And it'll be higher than Kipchoge's. I can tell you that.
Do you want to? So I have a bit of an awkward thing with Live Track that I need to address. So when we did a challenge a while back and we used it, and basically we did the challenge with Sophie Power, friend of the channel. She shared her watch data with me.
Yes.
So I now have her as a Live Track contact. This video was a good 12 to 18 months ago.
Right.
How do I tell her that I'm still getting all of the notifications?
All of her data?
And Sophie is like gearing up for the 24-hour World Championship. She does a lot of running.
Yeah.
And every day I get 4 to 5 emails.
Well, you're still in touch with her. It's not like she's a stranger. So
I just feel like I don't know how to broach it now because it's been so long and she'll know that I've been getting the email.
Now she'll know.
Okay. This is what I thought. I thought, sorry, Sophie, I am interested.
She's been
but if you want to
inspiring you, though, by
remove
getting
me,
out
feel
there.
free.
But overall, I had a great day. Really fun. And actually to go for a run with Andy in the New Forest in his spiritual home today.
I was.
Were you on pine needles?
Oh my
He
goodness.
was on Pine.
my happy place.
Oh, you must have been insufferable.
He was.
This is what I wanted to find out, though. So you said,
I must
sorry,
have been
obviously in a
insufferable.
lovely way.
No, joyous.
Yes.
And enthusiastic.
Was he joyous?
He's like a little fairy just floating through the New Forest, just so happy to be there.
Well, I was happier after the bit of the run that I did with you when I got to go off into the forest on my own.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to ask, because you said, oh, I had such a lovely run with Anna. How long did you actually run with each other?
It was about 11 minutes.
Yeah.
That's quite long for you.
Yeah.
It
was enough.
It was plenty for both of us, let's just put it that way.
Yeah. It was enough. George did a few, had a shooting us while we were running. It was great.
Oh yeah, which you probably would have seen if you're watching this on YouTube.
Yeah.
You'll see exactly what we got up to.
You can analyse whether Andy did look fairy-like or not. We'll leave that.
It's not how I'd have described myself. I don't think it's ever how I want to describe
In fact,
myself.
people did keep saying hello to you in the New Forest. Did you know those people? Or were you just saying hello?
I'm just polite.
No, so you live in London.
Oh, yes.
There's something that happens outside of
London,
London, which is like basic human decency.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot. Yes, that was it. Just
People say you're in London where it's like,
no,
right.
people say hello in London, just not Rick's neighbours to him.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
They've met him well enough.
That lad was in the hot tub again till 3 a.m. God, doing my head in.
We did go out for a run for 11 minutes the day after, though.
Minutes, yeah. And then I ran back as well, so it wasn't everything. But it was lovely.
Well,
anyway.
Speaking of running,
yes,
you might not be doing a lot, but Andy is doing gradually more and more because you're gearing up for an autumn/winter marathon.
Yeah, does Valencia count as an autumn marathon, do you think?
I don't think so, but
Well, it's
for
early December.
today's purposes, we'll have
all
to
of my
count
training
it.
will be in the autumn.
Fine.
When do you think it becomes winter?
on the 1st of December.
Really? I would have
Yeah.
said November's a bit wintry, personally.
I think
No, I'm with Rick. December, January, February.
Meteor what?
Meteorological. No, that's wrong.
No. Andy?
Well, I didn't do very well with naturist and naturalist earlier, so I can't say it now.
Meteorological. Anyway,
The weather.
The weather
changes, yeah.
But a lot of people, though, do prefer to take on an autumn marathon because I'm definitely finding this. So September the 1st in the UK, sorry for talking about the weather, absolutely drenched amount of rain. Like, I've never been hit in the face by autumn harder, but I kind of liked it because I feel like you train hard over the summer, then you come into autumn and suddenly it's colder, you can run faster, it feels less like you're about to suffocate on your own sweat.
Yeah,
It's
I feel like
lovely.
a weight's been lifted. So I've done all my hard training for the half marathon up until a few weeks ago. Then I've had a few easier weeks of the transition phase, which is what we covered on last week's podcast. And then now I'm into starting my marathon block. My watch told me 13 weeks and 3 days, I think, at time of recording, until Valencia.
What are you calling your official like block start? This is kind of, I must be the. Might be what you covered last week as well without me, but
No.
what's the kind of,
Well,
so many people do much shorter blocks. Like for your first marathon, you might want to do a good 16 to 20 lead-in.
That's the big difference. Starting training for my first marathon about 18 weeks beforehand, I was going from running once or twice a week, kind of 5K at a time, to this time having at 16 weeks out, that was the day of my half marathon. And so I'd done a solid 10, 12 week block of really hard half marathon training. And obviously multiple times had covered at least the half marathon distance.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different start, which is why I'm 13 weeks out. And actually these last 2 or 3 weeks, I haven't done very much. I've been running 3 or 4 times a week, but sort of the most I've run's an hour. So I think from next week, I'll push on a little bit.
Nice.
That's the plan. But I prefer training this time of year, like you said. So I'm not a fair weather trainer. I don't mind bad weather. I just don't like starting in bad weather. I find it hard to get out of the door
like
when
if it starts raining 2 minutes in, lovely.
That's fine. Yeah. It's just
it's
actually
raining,
closing the door behind you into a bitter wind and the rain is
that's
disgusting.
when I feel like I'm counting myself down and I'm like 3, 2, 1. No.
If you are heading into an autumn marathon in the next couple of months though, and you've been training throughout the summer, because in many parts of the northern hemisphere in total there's been such amazing heat over the summer, aren't a lot of people actually in better shape because you're going into it and your body's really highly conditioned from the heat? So now we have a big drop. You're in a better position to start that training block.
Depends where your race is though, because yours is, I mean, maybe you don't want to listen to this. Andy's is in Valencia, so that's going to be really hot. So he'll
It's not
lose.
a secret. I knew that bit.
He's going to lose. He's going to lose all of his heat adaptation and then be like thrust into 18 degrees.
It was about 18.
It was about 18 by the time I finished. Yeah. But it was probably only about 10 when I started, which
Are
is
you going to
perfect.
do heat training?
I feel like I've been doing it. Like Rick says, it's been absolutely baking in the UK. It's the hottest summer on record, isn't it? So it's
12 weeks away though.
Yeah, but
so I'm going to do more heat training.
Yeah.
Well, Rick put his suit on, didn't he?
That's a no, isn't it?
I really don't want to. No. I feel like I want to take advantage of the fact that now I'm coming out of recovering after the half. Like everything felt just difficult. Did take a lot out of me, more than I anticipated. And then now I'm just getting to the point where my body's coming back to me. And that's coupled with the fact that that kind of oppressive heat and humidity is lifted.
Yeah.
And it literally feels lighter when I'm running now because of not having that.
Fairy-like, you might say.
Just exactly that, hovercraft-like maybe.
Right.
But not fairy-like, no.
There is a bit of a battle, isn't there, between people who prefer to train for spring marathons compared to autumn marathons. What would you say that the big benefits are for going for your big race at this time of year compared to going in April time?
I guess it depends like where your race is and what you're doing. So if you're racing in the UK, then you're weighing up like it's probably going to be colder, but then you could be facing worse weather conditions if it is wet or windy or that kind of thing. But then also, and if you're aiming towards a spring marathon, then it could be that you train all the way throughout the winter and then you'll suddenly hit like London Marathon this year when it's really hot. The other thing as well is I don't know where I sit with this because I, like most of the world, have completely forgotten what winter is like. And now it's starting to get a little bit darker. I went to Run Club this week and by the end of the session, we were pretty much in darkness. I think in the winter, for me personally, if I want to do a speed session, I want to do it in the light. So it kind of forces me to do it either in the morning, just before work or lunchtime, which sometimes is really beneficial because I did find a bit in the summer. I was just like, I can run whenever. And then it would get to 10 p.m. and I'd be like, oh, I've missed my window.
That is true. I want to train more frequently during the week this time. So I did 3 times my first marathon, which wasn't enough. 4 times a week for my half. And there is a discussion happening right now about 5 times a week for this one.
Is that between you and your coach or you and your wife?
It's just in my own head at the moment.
It's too scared to broach it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I'm going out to Tokyo for 2 weeks, so that's cashed in all of my kind of husbanding chips for the year. So then I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm training for a marathon. Brilliant. But also, you're right. I'd got into a good routine across probably from April onwards of training, doing my biggest workout of the week on a Wednesday night after work. We're not too far from Victoria Park in London. That was like quite a good routine, but I'm not going to be able to do that from October onwards.
How did that go this week?
Well, I didn't do it at all. Yeah, that's how it went.
Why was that?
It was raining.
But
it wasn't raining a little bit. It was torrential rain.
It was quite bad rain. Yeah, me and Tom were leaving the office and Andy was just walking around the office with his bag on, with his shoe, like fully dressed in running kit, just with his rucksack on.
I did go to the gym. I went to the gym instead.
Nice. That's all good, isn't it? Because it's what you've got to be prepared for, because that's what you're going to face if you are doing an autumn marathon. But I suppose autumn marathons as a whole, when it comes to like the diverse places you can go to do them. I mean, Andy's doing Valencia, which is known as is it the fastest marathon in the world?
Certainly
Valencia?
one of the fastest marathons in the world. Yeah, you've got Chicago with world records. Berlin always was a place to go for world records. And then Valencia now, there was a big prize pot trying to encourage people to try and break 2 hours, I think.
2 hours, yeah. And then you've got, obviously, like you say, you've got Berlin, you've got Frankfurt, the New York City Marathon. Then you've got some other ones which kind of people talk about a lot, I know, in the Running Channel Club, like the Loch Ness Marathon.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Did you fancy that?
No.
Yes, but
very quick off the block.
They used to be sponsored by soup, and you got a can of soup at the end. And I don't think they have that sponsor anymore, so I'm not interested. I wanted the soup.
There's also
I would be very disappointed with soup as the thing.
I think you got a medal as well, but also soup.
Is it a soup with like the can? I'm imagining a can of soup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Would it have
you're not getting like a.
Would it be the one with the easy ring pull though, and you sort of open it and you're drinking the soup out of the can? Or do you have to go home and like open it with a tin opener?
I think no, you don't need a tin opener. No, absolutely, it's a pull ring. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
It might be a tin opener.
He doesn't know. He just said that with confidence to try and move us on.
Give you like a 1980s can of beans at the end that you need a tin opener.
Do you know how many people?
There's no. Can you imagine?
Yes. I kind of can. I don't think that's that hard. So many people were having soup at UTMB at the aid stations,
really?
And I was just like, that is wild as a bit of fuel.
Yeah, but that's part of the digestion's done for you, I guess, by it being in soup form.
Well, you say that. However, I did get a report from one person. Luckily, I wasn't there. That the soup was not a good. The reappeared.
Yeah. Okay.
Out the front end.
I'm
aggressively.
Oh yeah,
okay.
coming out. Yeah. Yeah. Rough.
You defy
I
the
wouldn't have
laws
gone
of
front and
physics.
back. I think I'd have gone top and bottom.
You're not selling UTMB to me.
It is grueling. I reckon
Yeah.
we could get you there one day.
In fact,
could
you
go
did
watch.
send me a text saying you'd love it.
Yeah, but wasn't that more related to the kind of après ski vibes?
Yeah. I am
Yeah.
up for it. I'm completely up for it. There's obviously some other big ones, like the Honolulu one.
Of course, you mentioned that one.
That's a bit of you.
The Athens Marathon, which follows the same route as the first modern Olympic Games. But there is also, like I mentioned, New York City. Aren't you going to New York City?
Well, are we allowed to talk about what I might be doing yet? Or should I still keep that under wraps?
I think we should talk about this.
Okay,
yeah.
so-
well, this is a very high likelihood of happening, but I'm to the point where yes, we can talk about it.
Okay.
And then people can shout at us if you don't do it.
Yeah,
Or shout at you if
please
you don't
feel
do it.
free. So I feel like ages ago I slightly mentioned that I might be doing New York.
Yeah.
Second year in a row, no, not happening. However, I might be running the world's deepest marathon.
Yeah.
We just got an ooh
From the
Tom.
audience.
Ricks, leave the pause in. That was so good.
Explain.
So it's in, from my knowledge, it's in Sweden.
Yeah.
It's in a mine.
Yeah, zinc mine, I think.
It's further down than the what's the name of the building?
The Burj Khalifa.
The Burj Khalifa is up,
Yeah.
or north
So
and
I think
south.
it's over 1,100 meters below the surface of the earth.
So there's
Yeah.
obviously a lot of questions that are going around my head, but the main one is just why.
That is also a question
I can
going
answer-
around
I can
my
answer that.
head.
I can
Yeah,
answer
because
that.
Andy told me to.
Yeah, because the emails come to me.
Right.
And then I get to
And
speak
Andy
to
went,
these
"Oh,
people.
no, I'm
and I
running
go, this sounds
Valencia."
fantastic. I'm going to talk to the team and see who else wants to do it.
Yeah.
And
And,
you say-
me. To be fair, I do actually think it sounds really good. However, facts that I was not aware of when I said, yes, please, that sounds
So
great.
you were aware of this.
One, the course is only 2 kilometres long.
Oof.
So it's a shuttle run.
Right.
2,
Well, it's 2 kilometers straight.
oh, sorry. So it's 4K
So it's not like-
loops.
Yeah. So 2K there, 2K back,
Fine. Sorry. Yeah.
10
Right.
more,
Same
12 more,
time.
11 more times.
Yeah. Second thing, did you know it's really warm in a mine?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, just me. The feel like temperature is 28 degrees.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
job I didn't doing the heat training.
Yeah.
And then the third thing, I think it is safe, hopefully, but apparently there are also little escape tunnels like every few hundred meters along
Yeah.
where,
Yeah.
this is the information I did not
Chambers, yeah.
want to know, where, don't worry, if the mine does collapse, there's enough oxygen to survive for 48 hours.
Oh God.
There's lots of them though.
Fine,
Yeah.
see? So I'll just hop between.
And you'll have a hard hat on whilst running.
Oh yeah, and I have to wear a hard hat and a high vis.
No, I don't think it's not like a builder's hard hat though. I think it's like a special lightweight climbers or
Oh, it's a running hard hat.
yeah,
Fine.
yeah.
I think
Much
I'll.
better.
I think I'll stick to the Chester one.
So that's an unusual autumn marathon.
Yeah, so please email in, tell me how to train.
Yeah.
for
How,
this.
how do you train for that?
Well, I'm just increasing my mileage, and I've been training for a 10K, so it's going really
Some heat
well.
training.
Yeah,
You
some
asked me
heat
about
training.
training.
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
heat training. I need to do a long run. Although in Japan, this is great because I wanted to ask you guys.
So you'll have great
How-
humidity. To train.
Yeah, perfect. So who wants to come and do a long run with me?
I will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
27K.
Yeah.
Great.
He's-
Yeah,
At my pace?
430 kilometers.
Brilliant. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Rick,
I'll time you.
We can get a
holding
bike.
a beer.
We can get a bike.
Yeah, you can get a bike.
that's
Oh my
true.
gosh.
You could be our training buddy and come on the bike.
Yeah.
I am so excited.
Do you remember
about
at the
Japan.
Olympics?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're so excited about changing the subject away from you helping us with any physical
Do you remember at the
activity
Olympics you really got into your electric cycling era?
Yes.
Well,
I did.
apparently they've just introduced those in Tokyo, so you can reignite your love for cycling.
I'm absolutely buzzing for Tokyo. Just a week away now from the World Champs starting. It's
And we'll be covering it
absolutely
every
amazing.
single day
Yeah.
with a special series of the podcast. So do make sure you come back for that.
It's going to
10
be
days in
good.
Tokyo, 9 episodes.
No, it's called 9 Days in Tokyo. Why?
No, we're calling it 10 days because we're there for 10 days.
Well, we're there for long. Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the athletics is on.
We'll
for
discuss
10
this
days.
off air.
Yeah, we'll go off
Fine.
air. Off air.
Should we just round up doing some quick fire
Yes.
tips for autumn marathon?
I'm not sure we've given any tips so far.
Yeah, this is what I mean. We'll just get some in.
Okay, right. That's good. Yeah.
Get some in. One of my tips is going to be think about the difference in training. I definitely noticed it this year. If you are coming off the back of summer training, think about how different it's going to be in autumn. Prepare for the cold, prepare for the difference, prepare for the weekly mileage, prepare.
Yeah, I personally think it's massively easier. There is obviously a big range. So, for example, Berlin is quite soon. So that's towards the end of September. So if you think about that, most of your sort of taper is in this period of worse weather.
Yeah.
And actually you've done all of the hard training in the quite attritional heat of the summer. And I think that's a huge advantage. It's hard to do the training during the summer.
Yeah.
But then every single week you feel better. And then you get to go to Berlin and it'll be 12 degrees and perfect for running.
It's going to be so good.
I think that's easier than doing all of your training through January, February, March when it's dark and cold. Obviously, we're going to try and do some more episodes in the future where we try and persuade people it's a great idea to do that and keep them motivated.
Yeah, nice.
But that you've got to acknowledge that that's tough, and that we never try and shy away from the fact that bits of running are hard, and that's like I always take the easiest way out. So that's why I'm doing a December marathon. So I get the kind of, I don't have to do all of the like really, really long runs in July and August like those training for Berlin might have done. But I also don't have to do them in the hail and sleet in February.
Also, for London Marathon, I'm pretty sure it always works out that day one of a 16-week training plan is January 1st, which is just, I mean, that's setting yourself up to fail, isn't it? It's not, it's not happening.
Yeah. So
I think it's the best time of year to train. I mean,
does that mean you're doing one?
No. But I do think it's.
You're going to be doing your training in that horrible time.
I'm going to be doing it in January, February, March.
Get Rick to run a marathon in April. Yeah. So you will start in January 1st.
Yeah, but I was thinking about this. So
he's obviously thought of a hack here.
No, I was thinking about the cross training element. Well, yeah, I have, but the cross training element to it. So, do you need to cross train more for an autumn marathon compared to doing a spring marathon? Because cross training really comes into its own, doesn't it? When you can't get out because of the conditions, or maybe you're not motivated to get out because, like Andy said, he had really struggled getting out this week because the weather completely flipped on its head in the UK. Do you think that comes in as much into play in the autumn or less compared to training for a spring marathon?
Well, it could be, if the weather is really bad, then it could be a perfect time to just hop on. One thing I would say though is that if you are coming into the autumn and you're at the end of a training block, then you probably don't want to add in something new. Whereas if you start your training block in the autumn or in January and you're like, right, well, I know I'm not going to be able to get out sometimes because of work, family, life commitments, whatever it might be, then it might be a good idea to go, okay, well, this is the amount of volume I want to have in my training. I'm going to do this much on the cross trainer or on a bike or swimming. I'm going to do this much running. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I do.
Would you cycle? Do you cycle?
I cycle to work.
Can you
every
picture
day.
him in a hat? You cycle to work every... Oh yeah, you do on your Brompton.
So
oh yeah, you are. You do ride a bike. Yeah. I have the same thing with you riding a bike as I do with Rick driving a car.
I just can't imagine it.
Can't imagine it.
I look great. I also go faster on my bike than Rick goes in his car.
Maybe we should do a race.
That's actually quite a good idea for a challenge.
My money is on myself.
Yeah, fair
100%.
enough. Should we talk about some news?
Yes, let's do it.
So Sydney Marathon also happened.
Yes.
Mark went out and ran it in an incredibly speedy time. How annoying is this? So we said, look, right, you're going
Just
out.
go and have fun, yeah.
Go have fun, go run it, take a GoPro, film some highlights which you'll be able to watch on YouTube. 3:05.
Is that what he did?
Yeah.
Just chilling out.
Just chilling.
And it's not flat.
And it's quite hot.
I think it's the hilliest major, isn't it?
Really hilly, yeah.
Mark was telling me about the time that the Sydney Marathon starts, that you have to, even though you're affected by jet lag because you've gone over, and a lot of people might just come in for like the 7 days in Sydney, but actually because it starts so crazily early that he said his pen call time was actually 4:30 a.m, that the first time he had to be in his pen, because the race itself starts at 6 because they have really strict conditions on how they shut the roads and stuff in Sydney. So he had to get up and have breakfast. He set his alarm for 2:30, had his breakfast at 3 a.m, and then left the hotel at 3:30 to get into this pen at 4:30 where it's still pitch black dark.
Yeah, but he had a beer by 10 a.m.
Yeah, no, I know, but I just like, you're jet lagged already, but then you've flown halfway around the world and then you have to go back for the race. It's a crazy.
I mean, I think we can all
agree. I know why they do it because of the heat. I know why they do it.
Yeah. I think we can all agree that if you went out to Sydney, you would have missed the race.
Correct.
There is no way you could handle that admin.
Do we need to... I mean, Sydney's not on a massively different time zone to Tokyo.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to be okay?
Yeah, how are you going to handle that jet lag?
Yeah. Do you handle jet lag?
Yeah, I was fine in Frankfurt.
And Paris last year, you were all right?
Paris, I was fine for the Olympics.
Oh my gosh, we've never been anywhere with you with jet lag.
He was awful going to Budapest.
Podcast. Oh yeah, he was.
Not with jet lag, just generally.
Thanks very much.
So, We can't.
That was because it took 36 hours to get there.
That is true.
Yeah, about the same time it'll take to get to Japan. What else are we talking about in news?
Sydney Marathon, the results though as well
at
the elite end of it. So obviously it's the first time as a world marathon major, which is exciting. That's why Mark was out there.
Yeah.
And on Mark actually get some funny, every now and again I'll see a little comment going, is that Mark Dredge, the beer author and reviewer? Because that's his sort of
the very same.
parallel life as an expert in beer. And you'll see him on TV sometimes in like in
a beer context.
Yeah, exactly. Pairing beers with fancy food. Sifan Hassan was racing.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a coup for the organisers as well. She's obviously one of the best athletes in the world across every distance that she chooses to do, from 1,500 metres up, really.
And she won and set a course record.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Pretty impressive.
Very exciting. I think she's going to be out at the World Athletics Championships as well.
She's doubling up. She's going from Sydney to there.
I might have that wrong, but maybe that'll be exciting if it does. Although I was looking at some of the scheduling and it looks a lot harder to do what she did at the Olympics.
The treble.
Yeah. Don't think the treble.
5 and 10. Or did you do 5, 10 and marathon?
5, 10 marathon.
The Tokyo is
just shaking my head in
8
miss
hours.
I can't understand it.
I'm just trying to work. Tokyo is 8 hours ahead of the UK. So if the races are, so they're basically going to be on around about midday here, aren't they? The big races.
In the evening,
midday till 2 o'clock here.
Yeah, and there's a few morning sessions as well.
Speaking of races, we're also, some of us, you actually, are going up to the Great North Run the day after this comes out.
Yeah. So we're going up, this weekend, Great North Run. I think it's the biggest half marathon in the world, the Great North Run, when it comes to participation.
Yeah, a lot of people have run this one, and Anna will be running it. Yeah. You, on the other hand, wouldn't dream of doing something so hard.
I am in the timing car.
Yeah, and what are you not allowed to do in the timing car?
Speak.
Yeah. A dream day for Rick. Please sit here. Don't say anything.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. What a gig.
It's the worst. I've never known you able not to speak though. It's going to be the worst possible job for you. If we were going down the entire Running Channel team lineup and we're like, we need someone to be silent and respectful.
Oh yeah, it's going to be terrible. We probably won't be invited back. But at least you have your one ride out.
It's going to be a big day, but I tell you who else it might be a big day for. Eilish McColgan, who has been on this podcast, looking to follow the footsteps of her mum with a Great North Run victory.
Yeah, that would be really exciting. So stay tuned for that. We'll bring you some news next week.
You know what time it is for now?
Oh, before we do that,
go on.
We didn't actually, just to finish off the news, do you want to report on, you were right on the finish line at UTMB.
Oh, yeah.
For a huge moment.
Yeah.
The whole week was full of huge moments.
It will honestly...
But the weather had been attritional, the course had been slightly shortened. Someone had come back for their third stab at UTMB.
Yeah, to witness Tom Evans take the win was honestly phenomenal. Like, you could see how much it meant.
The finish line looked amazing.
It's you don't have to want to run a trail ultra or a trail race at all, but please go and just watch the finish line in Chamonix and UTMB if you can. Even just go and find a social clip of it, because no matter who comes across the line, you can just see the emotion in their face. You can see how much it means to them. You can see how much sacrifice has gone into running that race itself. And also what's really special is a lot of the time, just to the right behind the finish line, or just to the right, kind of on the finish straight, are the families of the runners. A lot of kind of parents are holding their kids' hands as they're running across the finish line. And especially when Tom Evans came across the line, his wife, Sophie, and his daughter, Phoebe, who's only a few months old, were stood there, and it was honestly just such a magical moment, and you could see like how much it meant to him as well.
I also don't know how you train for something like that with such a young child.
He did. So my favourite quote, which he did say in front of hundreds of people, so I'm sure he won't mind me sharing here, was he got asked by the interviewer after the race, and your daughter is only a few months old, like how has it been managing family life? And he literally said something along the lines of, my involvement ended about 10 months ago after 30 seconds. So I think he's now enjoying some parenting.
Yeah. Well, I just think, I do think that going back to my career, you have to be incredibly selfish to try and, like, I didn't quite get to, I guess, the heights that he's achieved, but you're like, well, I'm going to give it absolutely everything. Yeah. And try and not think, oh, well, if I hadn't had to get up in the middle of the night to do that, or if I hadn't had to do this, then I might have been able to do it. So, and often you don't hear those stories about the amazing support behind the athletes that are achieving those things. So for his partner to be able to let him do that is pretty incredible in itself.
Yeah, and they moved out to like right basically like on the course as well. So the last section of it, someone ran alongside him and asked like, oh, you've got a few climbs left, like how are you feeling? And that's where he'd been living, so he was like, this is home, like I know this bit now. And to be able to run 100 miles in 19 hours with that amount of elevation, it's like multiple
it's nearly 10,000 meters of elevation, I think.
So absolutely phenomenal. But also my favorite thing is just watching everyone come in. There's even a race called PTL, which this would be your worst nightmare, Rick. You start on Monday and you don't finish for multiple days, so you have to
I prefer the Craig David version.
What you do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
we're in
Thursday.
Southampton.
But they basically, it's running and climbing. So the people come down the home straight and they have helmets attached to their rucksacks.
Oh my God.
Part of me is tempted to convince Tom that we should go and do this next year, but I feel like he would be too, he's already going. Maybe in a few years.
Yeah, Tom's behind the camera over there.
But also the best thing as well, and if you've run PTL, no judgment, because I think this is an incredible idea. Please email in if you've done this. There's a surprising amount of PTL runners that come in around the same time that the kind of bigger races, like the other races, the kind of first position is coming in. So a few of us were saying, do you reckon they've kind of scheduled it? So they're like, oh, what time is Tom Evans coming in? Yeah. I'd like that amount of crowd when I finish PTL.
Yeah, if they just plan their route over the mountain
so
and just have
good.
a little...
Just have a little coffee.
Yeah. Do they have to wear helmets as well?
PTL?
Yeah, because they're climbing and stuff.
Yeah, because they're
Maybe
climbing.
you should speak to some of them about this underground mile one.
Oh,
It's not a bad
I'll see
idea.
what their
How to run the
helmets are like.
helmet.
Well, I don't think they have to run in the helmet. I think they put on the helmet to climb and then take it off.
Okay.
But I'll ask.
Yeah.
Questions?
Questions.
Firstly, a bit of advice for Tokyo. You've got a jet lag advisor on your watch there, so that will help you with the jet lag.
Oh, very nice.
Always thinking.
My question is, I'm running Brighton Marathon next year, so I'm wondering if anyone has run it here or whether they've got any advice or tips for that.
Brighton Marathon. I've spectated this. Was a warm one this year. Also, the course relatively hilly. So good luck.
well, Rick and I have only both run one marathon each, and neither of those were Brighton. But I have been down there, and it's an amazing event. So you will get great support on the course. It's not as well attended, obviously, as like London or Manchester. So there'll be spots where you need to be prepared for a slightly lonelier approach. But they're relatively few and far between. It is like a well supported marathon. So that's what I'd be preparing for. And then it's near the coast, so you would inevitably expect wind in one direction, I think. So if you're prepared for those conditions and then they don't appear, then you've had a mental win on the day.
I would say it's phenomenal. When we went down to watch it, I had an absolute ball.
Of course you did.
The
didn't
whole
run it,
day. My tip is a little bit more practical. I was looking for hours for somewhere to park in Brighton. In the end, I had to park so far away, I was basically back at Gatwick. So my advice would be to not drive. Yeah.
How far is Brighton from here? An hour and 45.
Sarah's geography is so bad.
Well, I would say though, so the one thing, I've got a mate who ran Brighton, and I've spoken to a few people who said it's quite hard because it isn't out and back. So you can see the finish line basically for a long old time. Yeah. I personally quite like that because then I think you can chunk it and go like, okay, it's getting closer and closer and closer.
It's getting closer though, does it? Until all of a sudden it is close.
But maybe that's something to do with a long run, is that rather than plotting like a circular route, start and teach yourself to do that out and back, because then in the marathon you can kind of chunk it and work through it like that.
Yeah.
Best of luck. Let us know how it goes.
I'm Jack, also from Garmin / the New Forest. It's a two-parter.
Hi, Jack.
You're from the New Forest. There you go. See, the best place in the world for running.
Question for you, Andy.
Uh-oh.
So, famously very good at running sort of 1,500 meters, mile, that sort of distance. And now you're running a marathon, which by my calculations is approximately 28 times the distance. If you extrapolate that out, 100-miler is in your future. So my question is, how far off running a 100-mile ultramarathon is Andy Baddeley?
I would hazard a guess at about 73.8 miles away from running. Is that the right maths? I don't know why I looked at you. That was not
absolutely no idea. I think it was, yeah.
I was going to come back to you in a minute and say like which direction from here is Brighton, based on where we're in Southampton on the compass.
When you asked that question, I just wanted to go.
Yeah, right. And I knew that would be the answer. I knew that. Sorry, we digress. There is absolutely no way in in the world that will ever run 100 miles.
Never.
What about when
Never.
your children are all grown up and you've suddenly got loads of time? Like when all 100 kids are off at university, you're just like, I could run 1
And
mile
I'm bankrupt
for each
from,
one. Yeah.
from the fees. Yeah. I honestly can't. In fairness, I could never see a world where I ran a marathon, and that did happen.
What about a 50 miler?
I could see that. I could see doing.
That's really far.
Oh yeah, miles, not kilometers.
No, let's go with 50 miles. Yeah, that sounds good.
I could definitely see. First off, I can see myself doing like an exciting, adventurous marathon where time. Because I think after this next one, if I do another marathon, I'd like to do one where I just get to take on a challenge of like, I don't know, up a volcano or something. Like not where time is irrelevant, and I know I can cover the distance. It's just going to take a bit longer.
But if you
What about a mine?
Jesus, have you heard?
Nick my mic.
For audio listeners, Rick and Sarah are now sharing a mic because the other mic is in.
He's got a two-parter.
Oh, sorry. So there's another part to the question. The answer is I just can't imagine a world where I run 100 miles. I do think that I might do something further than a marathon one day. But first of all, it would be trail and adventure stuff at a shorter distance.
Do you know, though, with trail running, distance is like a loose guide?
Like
Because I feel like this would annoy
This is a
you.
running audience, so I can probably get away with saying this. Is that like triathlon as well?
Wrong audience.
That didn't go down well at all, is it? It's roughly,
But
it's roughly 10k. Or did it in 25 minutes? Oh, it's definitely 10k.
No, so with a trail, like a 50k could be like 54. I feel like that would annoy you.
That would hurt my
But that
feelings.
would be great
yeah.
content, wouldn't it?
It would be very good content.
It might be the first time you get me to cry at the end of a race, because I know you're very disappointed at the end of my first
That's
marathon.
happened before. You have cried once before.
Yeah, I think that was when I was just thinking about my career.
Oh yeah.
That actually was when it. So sorry, Jack's got another question.
UTMB at the OCC race, Kenyan female winner for the first time. Interested what you think that. I think that's significant for trail running. Can you talk about what you think about that?
Oh, I've got just a quick anecdote from I'm in a WhatsApp group with a bunch of current and former athletes, some of whom have competed at the marathon at a really serious level. And there was sort of that speculation started then as to like, if Kenya or East Africa did start to train for those ultra races, would they just dominate in the same way as they've dominated a lot of road running? My answer was no, I don't think so. I think it is a big shift though culturally for that to be seen as something that they might want to pursue. And obviously there's a lot of stuff in the press recently about we've talked about how Kenyan athletes have gone from the track and they're now really young doing road races because of the money there and the prestige. And so if they perceive the same prestige in trail and feel that could be a route to becoming a full-time athlete, a professional athlete, then yeah, maybe they'll take it on. But I think it's such a different sport in terms of how attritional it is and how psychological it is that I don't think it's like a given that just because you've got that kind of genetic and national heritage of running that you'd be able to like dominate.
Do you know what I find interesting though? There's like a huge cross-country scene there, isn't it? Like we've there's the famous video of, is it Cheptegei, who has an absolutely shocking cross-country race.
Yes.
And then obviously isn't then risen to huge like track stardom as well.
Yes.
That's not, I mean, it's obviously a shorter distance, but I would say like cross-country isn't a million miles away from trail racing.
I think it's the time, not the
terrain.
Not the terrain. Yeah. So I don't. I think it's like that. Maybe I'm just assuming people have the same mentality as me. But I can run really hard for this, and push myself to 99% or whatever. Run right on my red line for a 10k, maybe a half marathon.
Yeah.
Haven't tried to do it for a marathon yet.
Yeah.
But the idea of doing, I don't think that's what you do to run 100 miles over the mountains for 20 hours. I think big parts of that are where you just decide to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and it's not about pace, it's about willpower.
I don't know though.
I think that's different.
I think it is. So interesting stats. If you go and look through like Tom Evans's data from UTMB, and specifically if you start to look at the pacing data, a lot of it is like hard.
Yeah.
All out. So I don't know.
I'd be pretty disappointed if it wasn't.
Well, obviously, but I don't know. I would, maybe this is what we need to do. We need to do a video with like you and him where we sit down and go. Because I know I do see what you mean.
Actually, he'd be really interesting to talk to you about it because he has also done races that I've done. So he's done like the European Cross Country Championships.
Yeah.
And he's raced hard 10Ks.
Yeah.
And so we do cross over that bottom end of his range, top end of my range.
But I wonder if it feels more like a So like even in an all out, you're at your red line marathon, you're still supposed to feel like comfortable in the first kind of 5 to 10K. So I wonder if that just gets a bit longer when it's 100 miles.
When he said his splits were really hard. I don't think they are for him though. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So whereas like if you're taking
it doesn't feel like
I was going to say
sprinting.
East African athlete, but any athlete that's running a marathon at close to 2 hours, then that pace is a hard pace.
Yeah.
Whereas for Tom, he can run a 10K in under 30 minutes.
Yeah, but then
and he's not running 3-minute Ks for 20 hours. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, but then I just feel like in the last 5K of whatever it is, it would feel that hard.
It didn't look that
As in,
hard
like,
for him.
if we
he looked chilled coming in.
I love seeing it. And he did a salute. He did a salute, right?
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool because he was in the military previously.
Yeah. Like if I'd stopped you 5K from the end of Valencia Marathon and was like, come on, run your real pace. As in like run your like 1500 meter pace. Would you have been able to do it?
Absolutely not.
But then did it feel as hard as that?
It felt hard in a different way.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't breathing particularly hard.
Maybe we need to get
make my legs going. Couldn't get my legs going. As opposed to like you feel like you're about to be sick when you're running flat out for 1500 meters.
I think me and Rick can vouch that we've never felt like that.
The word comfortable and marathon would never come into play with me. No, whatsoever.
The word marathon barely comes in.
Hey, before we go, for the final time, we've got a favour to ask.
Oh, yes. So we know people are annoyed.
Yeah, we
but
got some comments
We'd like
saying,
to
please stop
apologise.
banging on about this. So we're going to do it now and then never again.
Then we've given up.
Yeah, but let's be honest, we're still going to bang on about it. And do you know why? Because if we do win, we won't bang on about it next year. That's our promise.
Should we say what it is that we're not going to bang on about?
Not going to bang on about.
The British Podcast
Awards. Yeah.
Yes, we are now down. Is it the final 10 or the final 5?
I think we're definitely in the top 10 when the last time that they told us about
We're
it.
in the top 10.
So please go and vote
thanks
for
to
us.
you,
I think the votes close on September the 8th.
Yeah, and this comes out on
the 8th.
September the 6th.
Yeah.
So 2 days.
Yeah.
That's what we have. Or technically 3. But please vote. So,
search British Podcast
Podcast
Awards, Listener's Choice.
Yeah.
Type in The Running Channel
podcast.
And it should come up when you start typing. It will then send you an email.
Yeah.
Click on the email, accept.
I think this
That is
bit's
the
the
vote.
bit that was annoying for everybody.
Yeah.
It is annoying. We don't set this up. Also, it's
don't.
impossible to find the running
is.
channel. So
Oh no,
once-
sorry, I meant this bit of us banging on about it was the
Yeah.
annoying
Oh,
All right,
this
the end.
bit that's
All
annoying.
right, that's it.
Right,
That's
sorry.
It, the end.
There you
Never
go.
again.
Thanks
Never
for
again.
voting.
Never again. Yeah. Okay, we're never going to mention that again. Thanks to you for voting. Hey, and thanks to our audience tonight. Thank you.
Woo!
Woo!
And we will see you
Next time.
next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.